do the report card? I know when you clicked on it, remember we talked about the parent advisory committee, you clicked on it and then it would do a drop down menu and stuff, because it's going to be a new software system and a new report card. Are we going to like kind of do a come on in if you want to?
Can I interject for 1 second?
Sure, go right ahead.
To follow up on what you said, and John, you hit on it as well, and it was going to basically be what I was going to ask, and I think it might address what you're getting at, and that is on the decisions to come, can we just put a bullet point that says communication?
Thank you.
Because it's communicating all that stuff. It's communicating the report card, the assessments, Skyward, how to access Skyward, what Skyward, etc. I mean,
That's what Mark said, they'll be
right, exactly.
in the fall.
Well, right, but I mean, we should probably have a discussion on, like, you know, before these letters get blasted out, what they look like, what they're going to say, how detailed they're going to be. I mean, I'd like to avoid any kind of miscommunication or misunderstanding of communication that we did in the past, because there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes. The report card's changing, the software's changing, our assessments have gotten stronger, the grading and reporting has gotten stronger. I mean, we really, a fifth bullet point, in my opinion, should be communication, because that's important to what we're trying to accomplish here.
Okay, excellent.
And I think that'll address as a whole, because then you get into the sub like Skyward, training, and etc., and report card, etc. You can get into that if you just throw that word up there as a whole.
Okay, great.
I just have one question.
Sure.
The scoring of the mastery assessments, that is done using the scales that you had mentioned, but you're still doing your formative assessments in a way that you, okay, I think that's one thing that also people just need to be understanding of, is that this method is being proposed for the mastery, but what a teacher uses within their classroom to do formative assessments and such is still gonna be part of.
Which goes in line with the word average. Someone asked me, was that an average? Well, that is going to have all these other pieces in it. So the number you see there now is a straight average. That's all debatable, weighted grades. But the point is that that number you see is qualitatively the endpoint of that assessment. And the mastery assessment is one piece of that endpoint.
Because not everything is gonna be scored that way.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're clear on that.
Yes, good.
I'm speaking for these two folks, I don't know.
No, that's about, so for example, for mine, I might have a master assessment on an outcome, but I might also have 3 labs that went with the
That's right,
project. You know, there's all things that go with that assessment.
That was my
besides
understanding of it. I just didn't know if that really came across clear tonight. So, okay.
Known as data points, as you travel through toward your mastery assessment, you'll have record of data points and how, as you mentioned, the word formative assessments.
Okay.
Probably very similar to what the parents presently see on our grade book.
Yeah, I think
Those are
that
usually those quizzes and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the things that do come home.
Yes,
That you see.
everything else, you know, we can still keep seeing those pieces.
And the new software can group it by outcome, so that you can see each thing that went with each one.
Okay.
I think they said when you clicked on the outcome, you would do a drop down. When I was saying the drop down, it'd be all the data points. That's what the Skyward's going to do. Is that right?
In the grade book.
Right.
We're still not sure with the report card. If it's an electronic report card, it may be possible to actually be able to click on the outcome listed on the report card to get the drop-down menu. Otherwise, they're on the website today. Okay?
Anything else on this before we move on?
Okay. Thanks to our curriculum coordinators. Appreciate you may want to stay, but you can leave too if you want. The second part of this is
Thank you.
the Curriculum Council is also recommending that we update the Iowa Test of Basic Skills. It's usual after a period of years that you update standardized assessment simply because the norms change. We are currently using 2005 norms, and the 2011 version of this ITBS offers us even other options that are very important to us. So in your packet is a synopsis of those changes, and we have, we're real pleased to have Kathy Lawrence with us this evening. Now, Kathy Lawrence knows more about this, the whole topic of standardized testing than anybody else I know. She's been in the business I'm not going to. But
Blessed to have you
let's
for
put
a
it
few
this way,
years, though.
we've worked
How long have you
together.
been with us in Pleasantdale?
I've worked with Kathy probably 2 decades, and so that just shows how old I am. She's young. Go ahead.
Well, shall I stand up here?
However you're comfortable.
I just want to, I'm a national consultant for assessment, and I go to many, many districts and state departments, and I sat here in awe of what I heard this curriculum committee doing about their formulating these high-level assessments and ranking them by Marzano's cognitive level of difficulty. Very few places I ever go to, I hear this kind of sophistication on the creation of assessments. So I really want to compliment that group. That was phenomenal. Okay, with that being said, okay, you give the Iowa test and the cognitive abilities, and you've been doing it for many, many years, okay? And these 2 instruments are just really 2 pieces of evidence of learning. You have many other pieces of evidence of learning, but it's an external look at how you do in comparison to 200,000 students across the country. And that's why it's important to get updated, quote, norms. So the new norm is comparing them to students today in 2011 versus what you are being compared to in 2005. It's amazing that of all the years that you've used the Iowa test here, you have continued to make more than average or predicted growth. And it's amazing the amount of work and effort that goes into using these test results to monitor student achievement, monitor your curriculum, and look to see if children are indeed on target for making growth. And even though there's built-in growth factor to the scale of the Iowa test, over the years, Pleasantdale has always exceeded, quote, the normal growth rate. And again, it's an external piece. Now, someone mentioned Common Core. Okay, this is, quote, the new big buzzword across the country, because, you know, in 2014, ISAT, as we know it now, will go away. And it's going to be replaced by, quote, Common Core standards. You already have the Common Core standards right here. When I hear that you've used the different cognitive levels of difficulty, that's what the Common Core is. They're going to be more rigorous, more reading in the content areas, rather than a lot of leisure reading, because more technical kinds of reading, higher math. And again, I believe you've captured a lot of that, what's in the Common Core standards. That's coming down the pike, okay? The other thing is, you do have a long history of the Iowa test and a lot of historical data. That's not going to be lost because we have equated the current Iowa test with the new norms so that we'll be able to bridge that gap so you're not going to lose that historical information. With the Iowa, we can also predict their success for the Explore test, for ACT. And what do you think is the latest thing that everybody wants to know about? Are my children ready for college? Right? They predict whether kids are going to be on major league sports from 3rd grade and up, right? And right away now, we want to predict, are they ready for college? Well, the Iowa test, of course, is done in Iowa City. There's not one corner. There's not one question on corn or hogs on the test, okay? It definitely is a national test. In fact, it's used in all of the U.S. schools around the world, okay? And one of our major authors was one of the authors of the ACT test. And they work very closely with ACT. Now, we can predict if students are on track for being successful in college as low as 6th grade. The authors say we can go either lower